song. This is actually the first Otis Redding song I ever heard, of all the ones, right? I probably heard some of his before, but didn't realize it. But yeah, so great song. You just don't hear stuff like this anymore, right? So there's not a lot going on, so I wanted to kind of do an arrangement and do all this kind of R&B, Hendrixy kind of stuff, right? So we're going to start out with the horn part. And I tried it a few different ways to try to get it to sound like that. I tried thirds, I tried sixths, tried octaves, tried chords. So the best thing that worked was the triads in 3 different spots. So we're going to be going B flat to G, right? So we're going to start on this D shape of a B flat, 10, 11, 10. And then we're going to go down to 7, 6, 6. And then we're going to go down to 3, 3, 1. So those are all 3 B flat triads, right? And then you come back to 6 and 7 for the 4th one. So you just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, then we're going to switch to G. And we'll have G major, 12, 12, 10, 7, 8, 7, then 4, 3, 3. And then back to 7, 8, 7. Okay, and the last time we'll go and we'll end on a G7, right? So you just strum it, give it a little scratchy rhythm, and then just invert the D shape, right? If you play it upside down, that's how you get your 7 from your major. Alright, so then we'll go 7, 6, 7 for the G7. Alright. Okay, then we're going to get into the verse. And I'm kind of mimicking some of there's like a boogie woogie piano line going on underneath. I'm kind of mimicking some of that, and then I'm trying to mimic some of his vocal melody at the same time. So we're going to slide into 6 with our thumb on low E. Then we're going to play a B flat major chord. We're just going to give it a stab. You get 8, 7, 6, 6. Okay, then we're going to do this kind of. Okay, trying to mimic the fa 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 part, right? Alright, so after you hit the chord, you're going to go G and B on 8, and then G and B on 6, and then hit them both and hammer on to 7 on G. Okay, and then you're going to go D on 8 and pull off to 6, and then hammer it back on to 8. Alright, so that's the first line. Then we're going to go. So you have 6 and 5 G and B, slide into 7 and 6 G and B, then bar 8 on G and B again, and then 6 on G and B, and hammer on to 7 G. Okay, and then we're going to do this lick. We're going to pull off 8 to 6 on D, and then we're going to pull off 8 to 6 on A. Then we're going to slide down to 4 on A, and hammer on to 6 on A, and then slide in 4 to 6 with your thumb on low E. So you have alright. Then we're going to repeat the first part again, and then we're going to go. So then you're going to have do these 6th, right? You're going to have 8th fret on G and E string, and then slide in, hit it once, then slide into 8 and back to 6, and then catch 6 on the B and E. So you'll have, slide in 8 to 10, hit 8 once, slide 10 to 8 and back, then 6 on the B and E. And just hang your ring finger over the B string. That way you can strum it. And I usually catch the B and E on an upstroke on 6. Then we're going to walk this bass up. We're going to do these octaves. Almost kind of sounds like the beginning of Twist and Shout by the Beatles. You know? Whatever, getting off track here. Alright, so octaves, use your thumb. You can use your index finger if you want, but it's going to be harder to switch, so use your thumb if you can. So 1 on E, 3 on D, then 3 and 5, E and D, then 5 and 7, E and D, and then we're going to be back to B flat on 6. And your thumb hangs over and mutes out the A string. Okay, then you just repeat the opening part again. Okay, now we're going to get into the verse. And I'm trying to mimic, all my life I've been singing them sad songs. Sad songs are all I know. Alright, so I'm trying to mimic the vocal melody. So we're going to go hit the bass with 6 with your thumb on low E. And then we're going to bar B and E on 6, hit them both and hammer on to 8. And then hit B and E by itself on 6. And then we're going to have 5 and 6 G and B, hit them together, hammer on to 7 on G, and then hit 5 and 6 on its own, and then catch D on 8. Okay, and then that leads us into, and then we'll have 8 on D and G, hit both of those, and hammer on to 10 on D, and then I hit that twice once I hammer on, and then hammer on again, and then just hit 8 by itself on D and G. So the first part is, okay, then we're going to go hammer on to 8 to 10 E, 8 to 10 A, and then you bar D and G on 8, and then just slide off. Alright, so the second part will be thumb and bass again. Same little double stop. You get 6 on B and E, hammer on to 8, 6 B and E by itself. Then we're going to go 5, 6 GB. And then we're going to hit 7 on G. And then we're going to hammer on and off a 7 on G. And then catch D on 8. Okay, now after you hit D on 8, we're going to go 5 and 4 G and B, hit it once, then slide into 6 and 7, slide back to 4 and 5, catch 3 on G and B on 3rd fret, and then we're going to do this lick. You can have bar D and G on 3, and hammer on and off a 5 on D. And then we're going to pull off 5 to 3. Pull off 5 to 3 and slide to 1. And hammer on to 3 on A. And then use your thumb and slide right back to 6. So the whole first part you get. Okay, then the second time you repeat everything, right? And once you get through that slide and you get to 3, instead of doing that lick, we're going to walk up the bass because we're going to change into the pre-chorus, right? So we'll go okay, It's a sweet melody tonight. Anybody can sing it any old time. That whole part. I love that part of the song. It just makes me, when he's like, what's in your heart puts you in a groove. When you hear this song, it'll make your whole body move. I mean, you can't just help it, like, every time I groove to it, right? So anyway, we're going to go... So walk your bass up. 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 7. Then we get here, hit the octave 6 and 8. And then you can just hit the bass, doesn't matter. Then stab the chord. Then hit the bass twice on 6. Then we're going to slide in a 6 from 8th fret to 10th fret, G and E. Okay, then we're going to play an F major. So you have 8, 10, 10, 10. Okay, then we're going to play some licks out of that chord. Can't remember what I did exactly, but I think I did 12, 13. 12, 13, hammer on and off to 14 on G. So you get so we're going to go 12, 13, hammer on, hit 12 and 13 by itself. And then you can go, I can't remember if I did D or G, I'll give you both, but I went here. You can bar 10 on G and B, hammer on and off at 12, and land 12 on D. Or, yeah, either did that or I did, or you could go D and G, hammer on and off of D on 12, and land on A. Either one will work. Alright, then we're going to go to E flat major. Okay, 6, 8, 8, 8. Then we're going to go 10 and 11 G and B, hammer on to 12 on G, hit 10 and 11 by itself, and then bar 8 on D and G, hammer on and off of D on 10, and then catch 10 on A. Then we're back into B flat. Okay, so with the whole first part. Then we're going to do this total Hendrix thing, right? This is so Wind Cries Mary, right? Instead of walking up the bass here, we're going to do it here. Alright, so you're going to bar A and D on 8, hit them together, and then hammer on to 10 on A, and then bar 10 on A and D, hammer on to 12 on A, then bar 12 on A and D, hammer on to 13 on A. So you get, then we're going to repeat it, right? So that whole first part. Repeat it. Alright, so the second time, we're still going to embellish the chords of F and E flat, but we're going to just do a little different. We're going to go F, just more basic. So you have G and B on 10, hammer on and pull off 12 on G, catch D on 12, and then bar D and G on 10, hammer on and off of D on 12, catch D on the A string. So you have, then we'll go to E flat, 6, 8, 8, 8. We'll slide into 8 to 10 on A, hammer on 8 to 10 on D, then bar G and B on 8, hammer on and off to 10 on G, and then catch 10 on D. Then we're back into B flat. Okay, so all together. flat chord, and it goes. You know, we're gonna walk up the 6 chromatically, G and E, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then slide back into the bass on 6. Then we're back to doing the fat part. Walk the bass up. Okay, and then he'll repeat the verse again, but I just, for the intro, to shorten it, we'll do the bridge part, right? So then there's this bridge after the second verse, and it'll go B flat, F major, to B flat, to E flat. It sends a message, a strong message on it. Alright, so you go B flat, like real heavy on the G, B, and E strings, right? When you strum down. Alright, so you have your B flat, 6, 8, 7, 6, 6, hit the bass first. And I kind of hit these chords lightly and then stab them. Alright, and then we're going to play basically the C shape of an F major chord, but we're just going to shorten it and leave out the root. So just bar D down on 5, D on 7, 6 on B. It's basically that D shape, but we're going to put A in the bass, the third, right? So that'd be your first inversion. Alright, so you have 7, 5, 6, 5, right? So you go B flat, F, back to B flat, then E flat major, 6, 8, 8, 8. Sometimes you don't even have to play the chord, you can just do a lick up on the 8th and 10th fret. You can just go Alright, so that's the whole bridge. B flat, F major, B flat, E flat major, okay? Then it does the horn part again. B flat, to G, then just kind of fades out. Alright, so that's everything. Those are all the parts. Trying to think if there's anything I left out. Yeah, that's all of it. The whole song is kind of just going B flat to E flat during the verses. Anyway, just practice slow. Have fun with it.